Action fanatics, welcome to another edition of the Bulletproof Podcast. I am your host, Chris the Brain. Joining me once again, it is the Toyman, Chris DePetrillo.
I am here. My bells are jingling for this holiday edition of the Bulletproof Podcast.
Keep that information to yourself. Also joining us, of course, you know who it is. It's Ryan Campbell.
I'll say my chestnuts are roasting a little bit watching some Beth Toussaint this past week, Brain.
Oh, yeah. I did get some disturbing text messages from you, but that's par for the course here at the Bulletproof Podcast. And but you know what is not par for the course? You know what is something completely different than we've ever done before? I talked about it last week. The ballot is now up on bulletproofaction.com. I want you all to vote. I'm talking about the first annual Golden Butthorn Awards, 12 fantastic categories, some like you've never seen before. You will have until December 15th to vote. Then all the votes will be tabulated, and we'll get ready because at the end of the year, we will be presenting the first annual Golden Butthorn Awards. We will be preempted. This show will be preempted for that special presentation.
We're calling in all the big names, Brain, pulling in favors from friends of the pod all over. It's going to be quite the humdinger. Is that the one I'm looking for?
It's a humdinger indeed.
Yes.
A to-do, if you will. But yeah, again, December 15th to get your votes in on the first annual Golden Butthorn Awards. One of the most prestigious honors in all of podcasting.
Special guests, musical performances. Oh,
well, I think we'd probably get kicked
Along
off.
with the Bulletproof budget right before Christmas time.
I think we'd get kicked right off if we had musical performance. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we could do. I also want to take a moment to thank our friend Paul London for joining us last week. Got a lot of great feedback on that episode. If you have not checked out our Deathstalker episode, we do actually talk about the movie at some point, but we also talk about a lot of other things. It gets a little chaotic when PL joins us, but that's part of the fun, is it not, Ryan Campbell?
absolutely. Yeah. It's every once in a while, you just got to shake up the format a little bit and roll with the punches. And it keeps us on our toes, Brain.
He does. And want to remind everybody about the Kickstarter campaign for Paul London, Hero of the Prophecy, issue 2 of that fantastic comic book series. You have until Friday, December the 12th to be a backer on that. So there's that as well. All sorts of deadlines to give you. But I also, in all the chaos and confusion and just frivolity of last week, I forgot to mention that I was a special guest on the most recent episode of the DTVC podcast with our friend Matt Poirier, and we talked about the very new for us. It was definitely new earlier this year, Diablo, starring Scott Adkins and Marco Zaror, a movie that I will not be surprised makes a lot of action fans' top 5, top 10 list this year. And you can check that out. And I'll be ahead of the game this time because I've also got this news for you. I have been invited to be a part
of news today.
Just full of us. Yeah.
Newsman brain as opposed to.
I'm usually full of something else on all the other weeks, but this week news. I'll be ahead of the game on this one. I've been invited to be a part of the big Christmas edition of the PM Entertainment podcast. So very excited to be a part of that. More on that.
I'm so happy, Brain, that you're making the rounds on all these other podcasts. It's good to see other people taking note of your talents.
I enjoy, going out there and chatting with our friends. And, we have a lot in common with these other shows. We all just love these movies and love talking about these movies. So
speaking of looking at these notes, Brain, this is going to be a 2-hour podcast here. We ain't gotten into it yet.
Okay, we haven't. And what we're getting into is we're starting Christmas early here on the Bulletproof Podcast because we are going to be talking about what I believe is a holiday classic. And I just learned about it not too long, a few years back.
Okay.
A few years back. Ago. Our friend, another friend of the site and of the show, Andrew Babcock, it's like, you got to check out this freaking Project Shadowchaser II. It's you got to see it. So I found a VHS copy, and I'm like, oh, he was right. This movie is freaking awesome. Now I need to get the DVD. And I think last week I'm like, I don't know if I said it on air. If I did, I was a damn liar. I'm like, I think I got it for like $30 some. I went back in the purchases. I spent $53.
Oh man. Jeez.
And compared to some of the recent prices, you still got a bargain.
Right. It's gone up for sure, but $53. That's how much I liked it. Because I'm like, well, it's a 2-pack. But let me tell you, that third one is a piece of shit. But that's okay, because I'm happy to have Project Shadowchaser II, aka Night Siege, in my DVD collection.
I feel like we always have to discuss the story behind the different titles.
All right. Did you do some research on it?
No, I'm asking you. You guys usually know the difference of why it was.
Who knows why they do these things?
The version I watched didn't have Project Shadowchaser II.
Right?
Just that Night
Same.
Siege.
That's what the
Just
DVD.
the Night Siege.
Yep. I guess they just wanted to bring Zagarino's character from the first Project because it was so important. I don't know, but
By the loosest of threads too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it doesn't matter. Call it what you want. I call it a holiday classic.
Is he the same character in Alien Chaser as well?
He might be,
because it's starring him, and he's got the same look.
Well, that's kind of Zag's look for a lot of his movies. And I'm glad we're getting to talk about Zags, who I had a hate relationship with at one point, and then it turned to love. It's that thin line. But let's get into this. Project Shadowchaser II.
Before I get too much into it, I do want to say, Brandon, I watched this.
Goddamn thing about it. What?
Well, before some of what you were talking about earlier with it being VHS, it was a joy to watch this on the Internet Archive.
Yeah, because they had the previews ahead.
You got like a tracking bar, and then you got the like New Line Cinema previews, like with like, the fancy text, and then now our feature presentation. It was a nostalgic little trip just watching like the previews. They had like a trailer for like Liar Liar and I can't remember what
New Nightmare.
Yeah, it was a joy just to kind of like get the feels of like watching an old VHS copy, New Line Cinema.
Back when you would get like a mainstream or a big budget release trailer on a film like this, it wasn't just other low budget.
Oh yeah, most of them were for movies
like
that were coming. Ilk. Yeah, they were coming out in theaters. Like they were trailers for movies that were coming in theaters on a VHS.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's simpler times, folks. I wish we can go back, but we're going to go back because this one premiered November 17th, 1994. We start off with some like shadowy government figures. We don't really know who these people are, Ryan Campbell, but they're doing what government shadowy people do.
Yeah, driving around in a limo with no lights on inside the cab, so they're just shadows, and they're speaking about how they need to dismantle the ultimate weapon, and the president wants it done, Brain, in 28 days.
Yeah, this ultimate weapon known as Cobra. So now we skip.
Brain, you know you want to.
I won't. I'm going to control myself. It's so early on in the show. 21 days later, folks, it's Christmas Eve. But it's not going to be a very Merry Christmas for a truck driver.
So does that mean that the president wanted them this done by New Year's Eve? That's kind of
apparently, yeah. Hey.
This is like the original Y2K bug.
Yeah. You got to sometimes you got to, when you're serving the public, you have to put aside your
no days off.
Yeah, yes. No days off. You got to do what you got to do. So yeah, it's not going to be a Merry Christmas for this truck driver who has to stop and take a shit. And then he found out he took a shit in the world's most dangerous restroom.
Yep, he gets sniped silencer. I love when these movies use their silencer guns. Yep. It looked like he was just putting like a flashlight silencer on there. It looked like one of those like store-bought little mini flashlights. But yep, poor guy gets shot. Props to the prop department as well for like they didn't show that they kind of do like the pew, like shot away from it, and when they cut to the guy, window or the mirror behind him has like an impact point on it. It's shattered. They didn't have to do that, but a nice little detail that early on in the movie tells me that they're just gonna give it that little extra effort.
This movie took some care in what they were doing. Someone out there is
It was also
probably
probably not the dirtiest that mirror had been.
Oh, Toyman always takes things to the lowest common
Probably not the first dead body in that bathroom either.
Oh, jeez. I was gonna say someone's probably like,
it was a 1-2 punch, Brain. Can you take it? That was a deadly combination right there.
Just get rid of you two. Anyway, listen. Someone out there is probably like, those aren't called silencers, they're suppressors or something. And they're real pissed at you, Ryan Campbell. So be ready.
Let them be. That's fine.
Be ready.
Get right, my mentions.
Yeah. Go to Rycam. What the hell is it?
N7 at Rycam N7 on
there you
X,
go.
The everything app.
X, the everything. Speaking of everything, we cut to a kid named Ricky, and he's hitchhiking, which is a very dangerous thing to do, kids and adults.
Don't do that. No, don't hitchhike.
Especially on an isolated dirt road.
Right. And his destination, and this has got to be a first in the history of anyone hitchhiking ever. He wants to go to the Raycon nuclear base.
By the way, Brain, this episode sponsored by Raycon earbuds.
Oh, nice. What's our promo code?
Promo code up your ass.
Wow, that's very rude.
I guess it was available. I don't know.
Raycon nuclear.
We're the only podcast left, so that's all that's available.
The Raycon nuclear base. How many teenagers do you think want to go to a nuclear base, Toyman? I mean, because I ask you because as a child, you enjoyed watching things for 30-year-olds, so you may have been the teenager who wants to go to a nuclear base. Share.
I would have to say that was never my forte. I didn't want to go hang out at the nuclear base. I didn't want to try to steal codes. I mean, it would have been cool to see some missiles, but no, I didn't want to hang out doing smart people stuff. Like after school, I wanted to relax. I wanted to veg out and watch some TV that was meant for people my age, or several hours later meant for people, 20 years my senior.
Thank you very much. Well, Frank Mead is driving by, played by the one and only Bryan Genesse, and he's like, "Hey, kid, where are you headed?" And he's like, "Oh, I need to go to Raycon nuclear base." "Hop on in, that's where I'm going." So now let's go to the nuclear base where we see Laurie Weber. Ryan Campbell, you seem to become a big fan of Beth Toussaint in the past 48 hours.
Yeah, it was a perfect storm, Brain. The blouse with the skirt. She's rocking the Rachel haircut. It's just, definitely wouldn't mind being a study in that lab.
Well, she's working with Edward Johnson instead of Ryan's Johnson, and
guy can dream.
Edward passes out from exhaustion, which is another thing Ryan would probably hope he could have done with Beth Toussaint. She just worked him to the point he just passes out.
That'd be a good minute and a half.
Toussaint is actually married too.
Who?
Not me.
Who?
So I'm going to throw out two references. One is going to be the one that you expect, Brain.
I don't expect.
And then one is going to be a more modern one, maybe one that Ryan will appreciate. Beth Toussaint is married to Jack Coleman, who is famous for playing the second Stephen Carrington on Dynasty.
Oh, shit.
And I know that because of my family's obsession with Dynasty. Okay. But people who did not live in 80s primetime like myself will remember him as Hayden Panettiere's father on Heroes. He was Mr. Bennett on Heroes.
You know who the greatest Bennett in the history of entertainment is?
Vernon Wells.
Wrong. Martin Balsam.
Because he had the hat.
Yeah, he had a hat that said B for Bennett, you bastards. Now listen. So yeah, we're finding that this crew is overworked over here at the Raycon plant. And we also get our first look at Joe Hutton, played by Todd Jensen. Todd Jensen may have the record for most appearances in a New Image film.
Ooh, that sounds like a article piece, Brain, of like by the numbers or something.
Oh, you're very good, Ryan Campbell.
Is that a new category?
I'm gonna write that down. All right, that's a good idea.
Canon by the numbers, PM Entertainment by the numbers.
Son of a bitch, you've given me more work, but I like it. I like new things. All right. So yeah, Todd or Joe Hutton, not Todd Hutton, Joe Hutton. He's a sneaky bastard, Toyman. You can tell.
Are there two names that sound the same but are not the same than Todd Jensen and Joe Hutton?
No, they could have just easily
like it's the same name, but
your name is Todd Jensen and you're being played by Todd Jensen. But yeah, Toyman, this guy's up to some shit right away. You know he is, and then we see him with the tape recorder.
Yeah, and he's got that very slimy, like you just know, like basically if he had like a red neon sign above his head that said villain with the arrow pointing down, like he was in a Tom and Jerry cartoon, it couldn't be more obvious.
Right.
The only thing they could have done more was him make a pass at Laurie and her shut him down, and that be like another reason why he is a little sniveling piece of shit. But
well, you might relate to him though if he was doing that, because you'd be like, yeah, I'd be
rooting for him. You're like, yeah,
I'd be doing the same damn thing, Joe Hutton.
You either get blowed or you do the blow in.
Whoa, what the hell is?
I was gonna say we had to save that sexual tension for our hero later on.
Well, let's go back to our hero Frank, and he's now drinking and driving. Oh, that's enough. Don't let people drink and drive, and
with a kid that's not his in the car.
Certainly don't get in a car with somebody who's drinking
and a cigarette too. Wasn't he smoking as well?
Hey, It was 1994.
Yeah, that's less a deal. You kind of bury the lead when you drink before you smoke in the car.
So, I mean, it was a convertible, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So yeah, it wasn't like he was trapped in there with the secondhand smoke. It was just flying out into the world. And Frank finds out that Ricky's dad died because of alcohol. We don't know exactly what. Was he a drunk driver? Did his liver go out? Who knows?
Well, we had to establish that Laurie's available. So that's how we did that.
And
screenwriting 101.
Frank regales Ricky with stories of his baseball career with the Dodgers that never quite happened thanks to a shoulder injury.
I know that, Brain. My dreams were derailed by a shoulder injury as well.
Oh, that's a shame. I remember. You could have been something.
I know.
You could have been a Dodger.
So far, Frank Mead is Al Bundy.
Or Ryan Campbell. We haven't ascertained that yet.
Somewhere in the middle.
Did Ryan Campbell ever sell shoes?
Possibly. He's had a lot of jobs.
I have.
So he may have just forgotten. There's a truck that arrives at Raycon, and the driver is the dude who killed the actual truck driver in the restroom. This can't be good. So now we cut to the Raycon Christmas party in the break room, and we meet Carl Reitman, the boss, and he's like, what happened with Johnson earlier? And this is where Laurie's like, we're overworked here. We need to rest. You can't just, and he's like, we've got a dismantling schedule to complete. This is like the Scrooge character in this Dickens-like tale, Toyman.
Well, never mind him. I wanted to make note that we're looking at a company Christmas party at a nuclear facility. Yeah. And I know it was 1994 and rules were a lot more lax, but should you be smoking a cigarette around nuclear devices?
Listen,
because there's the one woman who's just like puffing away, and I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like it would be very safe.
Did you not hear the explanation later when they said you can't, the airstrike, you have to, missiles won't blow up other missiles unless you do something to them? A cigarette ain't gonna do shit if they're going by that rule.
All right, well, I mean, maybe that was just a cop-out. Maybe there was no continuity. Maybe we're reading too much into it.
I don't know. Ask Dickens. Anyway, and then he also reminds her, hey, Hutton is there to help you. That's why he's here, to help you do this. And she's like, he's just creepy. Agreed. Now let's go back to the restroom where we see the dead guy and Sheriff John O'Hara, played by Danny Keough. He's been in a lot of New Image movies as well. And the coroner, played by Frank Notaro. Ryan Campbell, did you recognize Frank from anything?
I don't think I did. I was kind of trying to look around as we were watching the movie, but there wasn't a lot of people that triggered that in me of like, oh, that guy's from something.
Frank was in Kickboxer 5, which was also shot in South Africa. He was like the promoter at the beginning.
Yeah, that one barely kept my attention. I wouldn't have. As soon as I was done with that and we finished the podcast, I just threw all that out of my brain.
Oh, that's a shame. All right, well, let's go back to Raycon. Laurie is surprised to see her son there, quite obviously, but he's like, I wanted to come see where you spend all your time. Ooh,
burn.
That is a guilt trip and a half.
It sure, as if that your kid had to hitchhike to get there isn't enough of a dig as a parent.
Well, yeah, that's what she's like. Well, how the hell did you get here? Oh, drunk driving Frank picked me up. That's how. So she's pissed with Frank. He's like, get your ass to the basement and fix that pressure seal. And then comes the moment. As she walks away, Frank cannot help but say, nice ass.
Love it.
Out loud, not to himself.
I mean, in that skirt, I'd have a hard time not saying it either. Like the brain just sometimes just, there's moments where like it just skips the whole processing part and you just say your thought right out loud.
Yeah.
I'd probably do that too.
He did it. And she did not take that as a compliment. And she just fires him right on the spot. But like in George Costanza type Larry David fashion, he's like, well, I'm just going to go back, do my work anyway. I'm just going to ignore that this happened. I'll just pretend that never happened. So now Laurie and she doesn't realize it because she's like, okay, I got to get my son home. It's freaking Christmas Eve. She's talking about this awesome gift. They're listening to Claire de Lune.
In the car.
Like, you couldn't have just gotten some other like generic cheap Christmas music that they'd be listening to. I mean, I love Claire de Lune. It's a beautiful piece of music. Absolutely beautiful. But it was a bit of an odd choice on Christmas Eve.
I wonder if it was always, well, I guess we were looking at the VHS copy, so it wouldn't have been like one of those deals where they go back in later and like change out the music. So
no. We find out that truck that came in had a special delivery, and Hutton is there attempting to open these crates, but he's a computer nerd, so it's taking him a minute. And then Toyman, the head crate opener, shows up. And he's like, no, I'm supposed to open these crates.
He's got to earn his holiday paycheck. He's not going to get his Christmas bonus unless all those crates are open. Hutton can't be cutting into his time.
Right. Hutton can't be cutting. Very nice. Back to Laurie and Ricky, and she's like, oh, is there a folder in the back seat? Nope. Ah, shit.
Son of a bitch.
We got to go back. Sorry, kid. Homework. All right. Now, terrorists have infiltrated the control room, and they are shooting the shit out of that place. And whatever they're doing is causing the power to cut in and out. So Jim at the security desk, which is like right overlooking the break room, he's like, oh, this isn't right. I'm gonna call down there. And one of the terrorists is like, oh yeah, temporary outage, kind of like the Han Solo moment there.
We're all good up here. How are you?
Right, exactly. And then we're working on it. And then they go back to doing more killing. Frank is doing his work, and the lights are going on and off, so he's just annoyed. But he's also half in the bag, so he's not that worried about it. Now, at this point, Laurie and Ricky have made their way back inside, and Laurie's like, wait here with Jim, the friendly security guard. I'll go to my office, get the folder, then we'll go back home. So she thinks.
Solid plan.
Now, back to Frank.
I'd rather come to my place, but I understand.
In 1994, I don't know.
I don't know. I might have been coming of age at that point. I don't know.
Wouldn't have done you much good.
Were you like 11 or 12, Ryan?
He was like 8.
8, yeah.
8. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. She couldn't. It would have been a few more years till you wanted her to.
This podcast is awful. All right, back to Frank.
We're spiraling, folks. We're spiraling.
Who is professing his love for his friend Jack. And no, this was not like a very progressive movie in 1994 where he has a lover named Jack. He's talking about Jack Daniels, folks. Just clarifying for you.
I assume
a little bit of motivation, a little bit of on the job. Well, is it technically on the job when he's not supposed to be on the job?
I mean, he's on the job. I don't know. But Terrorist Teague, played by Gavin Hood.
A little bit of independent contractor motivation.
Right.
Truly
Teague
independent because he's not getting paid.
Right. He's just doing it out of spite.
For the love of the game. That's what I
don't
say.
Gavin Hood played Teague, and he's another one who's been in some new image, not nearly as many as Todd Jensen by my account. And he just like sprays a bunch of bullets in Frank's direction. And in classic bad guy fashion, Ryan Campbell, he just like, yep, he's probably dead.
Yeah, these movies only work if the first few guys that take a shot at killing him make some assumptions that the guy's dead. So they're like, and they don't know that he has any skills for all that. They just gunned down 50 people in this facility. What's one more?
Right. Now Laurie's getting around to her, and she's like, wait, something's off. Something's not right. And then we see Edward from earlier, and one of the coworkers got shot, did not die. So he's like trying to get her to a safe place until this all blows over and they could get some help. Now Laurie finds the dead body, and this is when things get real worse because she then goes to the control room and sees a bunch of dead bodies. So she is shook. And she's calling up and she's like, what's going on? Ricky's up there. He's like, I think my mom forgot about me. And Jim's like, oh no, she'll be up here any minute. Don't you worry, slugger.
Your mom loves you, I'm sure.
I'm sure she does. I barely know the woman, but whatever. And then, Toyman, what an entrance we get from a man I like to call Zags.
What an entrance indeed, complete with an extreme close-up on his navel.
Yeah.
What a navel.
Just comes parading in, just stomping in shirtless. And the camera just keeps zooming in, and you think it's supposed to look imposing, like he's towering over.
Yeah, it was like the Andre the Giant shot. Shoot from below to make him look even bigger.
I mean, I guess we're lucky it didn't go any lower, because then we just would have had, a couple of Zags in our face.
Yeah,
but the extreme belly button close-up on the villain of the piece here.
Yeah. And he grabs a party hat and he wishes us all Merry Christmas in slow motion for some reason. And it's a Christmas party massacre. And Laurie is now like frantically trying to call up to Jim, but there's no answer. She's just now screaming for Ricky because she doesn't know what's going on. And then we get the revelation that Frank, in fact, did not die. In the classic, thanks to his flask manner. The flask took the bullet.
The irony, the thing everybody thinks would kill him is what saved his life.
That old chestnut. Hutton.
Do you think that Zags killed all the party people because that was his way of like separating himself from Hans Gruber? Being like, this guy was too chicken shit to do what he needed to do. I'm just wiping all these people out first 10 minutes.
Well, yeah. Hans Gruber also did not have access to a nuclear missile, though.
He did not.
So he didn't have
they're hiding one in Nakatomi Plaza.
He did not have that ace up his sleeve, so he needed those hostages more so. But at the same time,
you have to reminded me of an evil Guile, or if he reminded me of Ryan Hunter from No Retreat, No Surrender 3.
He reminded me of Zags. There's only one Zags.
Zeus and Zags would be a formidable tag team.
That's a good point. That's a good one too. Dream match. All right. So we find out. So now Laurie's like looking through like the classic 90s fan. You know what I'm talking about, Ryan Campbell. There's the big fan. She's peering through it. And she sees that damn Hutton is working with Zags. And he's like, oh, I've got Cobra online. And she's like, she doesn't know what the hell Cobra is. Now, outside is what we would expect when something like this goes down. We've got the military. We've got the law enforcement. It's a zoo. It's a circus. It's everybody scrambling, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, a facility this covert, housing, nuclear weapons. You got to do a little more than just be like, oh, everything's good here. They know it's offline and they are on the scene.
Indeed, they are. And inside, we go back inside, and Zags is telling his guys, sweep every floor, kill any survivors. Speaking of survivors, we find out that Ricky survived. Thank God.
Surprise, surprise.
So now Ricky's okay. We go back outside. Reitman is in conference with General McCowell, and other military brass. And then Sheriff O'Hara shows up and he sticks his nose in it.
And no one wants to hear from the sheriff when there's
No.
military generals on the case.
And he's like, he don't care. He's like, there's people in there and we got to do. And they're like, well, shut up. And then Zags calls and he's like, he wants his fellow freedom fighters released or else he'll drop a 50 megaton warhead on Washington, D.C. They have 6 hours to comply. And we get.
Now, do you think any of those freedom fighters were fellow androids?
I maybe. Thanks for spoiling it for everyone. But yeah,
they got caught. They weren't very good ones.
That's true. You would think an android could escape prison. We get the classic "This country does not negotiate with terrorists" line. Then we get terrorist Prine, who spots Ricky, and the chase is on. Toyman, I turn to you once again. Did you recognize Prine?
He looked familiar. I'm trying to think of where he was from.
I've asked you this
Because
question
it did not
before.
hit me right away. What's that?
I've asked you this question before.
You got about this particular person?
About this man.
All right, so let's think. Prime.
Everybody.
This is great stuff.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We were in South Africa, right?
Correct.
It was Truth Commission guy.
The Commandant, Robin Smith. Indeed, he was like wasn't he the driver in Kickboxer 5, I believe, the limo driver. But yeah, he's there. He's chasing after Ricky.
Why does it say on his IMDb that he was the Commandant on WWE Raw in 1997 for 5 episodes?
Because he was the Truth Commission.
He was.
Probably
before Don Callis took it over. He was Bret
Hart's
friend that he met in South Africa.
Right, and that didn't work out, so then they gave it to Don Callis. And
that wasn't a role in a movie. Okay.
That didn't really work out either. But yeah, we've got him going after Ricky. He's about to get to Ricky, but Frank shows up, and it's fight time. Frank eventually wins by burning Prine alive. Now, Laurie has gone to the vault, and we saw earlier that this vault is voice operated. So she gets in there and she takes this chip out of there, and we don't really know at this point what the chip is, but she puts it in her locket.
Smart. She's a smart one.
She is. She's very good, but she's also about to be dealing with this night vision terrorist.
That was a cool scene. I like that scene.
Yeah, this guy's got like all the gimmicks.
I do like how the terrorists had gimmicks. That was nice.
So he's night vision terrorist, and then Ricky and Frank come to her rescue, and then night vision terrorist transforms into nunchaku terrorist.
Nunchaku night vision. That's quite the.
So we get
1-2 combo.
Yeah, we get another fight for Frank, and this guy though is hard to beat because they're like, oh good, we got rid of him, but no, they didn't. He's still alive, but he's not after Frank puts an axe between his eyes.
Now, luckily, Frank, when he's out with his buddy Jack, he goes to the axe throwing place, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Gets some throws in.
They were probably big in South Africa, and they just finally made their way over here.
Yeah, take some time.
Years. And now, gentlemen, we officially have 3 flies in the ointment.
Bum, bum, bum. A nice change up on the Die Hard in a strategy. Now we have multiple people running.
Right. A man, a woman, a child. Everybody's involved.
It's a family affair.
Indeed. And now at this point, Zags and Hunt have realized that it was the voice processing chip that allows you to access the vault. So now Zag's like, okay, I got to find who took this goddamn chip.
Yeah, without that, they ain't getting anywhere. And that's their only, like you said, Brain, that's their only bargaining chip since they killed everybody.
Right. And so Ricky, we find out, grabbed a radio, and
Smart
now
kid.
This allows them to call out to Sheriff O'Hara, who's like, you guys got to get out of there. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yep. It's good. Crack sheriff they got there.
Sheriff Obvious over here.
Yeah.
Now Zags has found Edward and the injured coworker, and he's like, who took the chip? I want the chip. Edward says, fuck you. Watch your mouth, Edward. And then he gets killed after Zag shoots the woman dead. So he put her out of her misery. She was injured. And now she's just dead.
Poor guy had it rough. He got exhausted, like overexhausted in the beginning. Then he gets killed.
It's been a rough
Edward
day.
did not have a good movie.
No, it's a bad Christmas season for him.
Laurie has now tapped into the computer and she found out what Cobra is. She also sees this missile tunnel. And then, this beautiful woman says, Reitman, you bastard. And then just moments later, those bastards. So we're at 2. Good for her.
She's getting them in. She's a woman after your own heart, Brain.
Zags then activates the base's surface-to-air missile to shoot down a commercial airliner. Just to show, this is the classic, like when I just watched Colonel Stewart.
I was going to say, we get a little bit of Die Hard 2 in our
Colonel Stewart movie. Fools the plane from London.
When he's talking to them, like, and they're kind of making small talk and banter and all this other stuff.
And then
although he just leads them into the ground.
He just runs them right into the ground, that bastard. We get that moment, and Hutton then he's the computer nerd, and he really nerds it up as this goes on. Like, he's really trying to be Clarence Gilliard.
He even does like the sports metaphor.
Yeah.
Lines it up and smacks it out of the park.
Oh, that piece of shit. Anyway, he finds that there's flies in the ointment because, of course, these computers could do anything. And Zag's like, where are they? Oh, they're here. I'm going. So now we get a shootout between Zags and Frank. And if Toyman didn't already spoil this for you, Frank is like, God damn it, I shot that motherfucker, but nothing happened.
And keep in mind that they meet in a very long, narrow hallway. And for whatever reason, Zags doesn't shoot at Frank, really.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why. Yeah, well, come on, Zags.
He was hoping for a ricochet?
Maybe. Frank and Laurie then take this big bump off like a catwalk, but Ricky's like dangling from a rope or wire, and they're like, come on, just let go. Drop down here.
Yeah, we're clearly fine. You're even lower. You'll be fine.
But
kids don't have bones.
Yeah, he's scared. He doesn't know what to do. And this, of course, allows Zags to take Ricky captive. And now O'Hara gets a hold of them and he's like, hey, you guys, Zags is an android.
Just drop the way he delivers that line.
By the way.
I think he said some kind of robot.
He's like, you're not going to believe this. This is going to sound crazy, but that guy's a robot.
But it's believable. And that makes sense. And we got another bastard. So that's 3. Reitman gets on the horn, and he gets an earful from both Laurie and Frank. And they're like, Reitman, you better not be involved in any of this. And now the bad guys have managed to get the warhead, which apparently was their goal, the Cobra warhead all along.
Well, her necklace got ripped off on the catwalk.
Right.
I don't think they show a part where like he lifts it up and like, oh, here it is. They show it, the locket hanging on the catwalk.
Yeah.
But they never really show anyone grab it, but they get access. So we'll just assume that they found it.
Exactly. Thank you for filling in that gap.
Gotcha.
And then Hutton starts like, okay, Zags, this is what we got to, and it's like, no, you're not the boss of this mission, Hutton. You're not E.F. Hutton. No one's listening to your ass, you bastard. How's that? Do you like that reference, Toyman? Do you remember the E.F. Hutton commercials?
I do remember the E.F. Hutton commercials. Thank you very much.
They probably were on during Soap or Dynasty.
Or at least Dynasty, yeah.
Laurie and Frank are like, okay, we got to get to Ricky. I bet you if we can find that missile, those tunnels, we can find Ricky. And then Laurie sees Frank grab a button. It's like, I need this. And she's like, oh, shit. I need this guy drunk like I need a hole in the head. But he uses it for his wound.
Improvising.
Antiseptic.
It just gets the alcohol into his system quicker, really.
That's true.
Yeah, his open bloodstream. Let's go.
Straight into the bloodstream.
Good point. But that's good. Now we find out an airstrike has been authorized. And O'Hara's like, there's people in there. Oh, well, it's the,
I mean, I kind of get it.
Damage.
Like, it's it's shocking that they didn't just bomb that facility 2 minutes after it. You know, if there's a warhead in there that could like take out an entire country, the size that I don't know if we already talked about the scene where Laurie describes to them like the size of that warhead and the damage it could do. Yeah. My guess is they'd have that facility bombed within about 3 minutes.
I would think, in today's world, you just have some kind of drones over there.
They're like, 3 lives to save, 8 billion. Yeah, it would nuke that place.
It's true. But we're invested in these characters and we want to see them survive.
Oh, yeah. But to that point, I know they try to pitch it like the military guys are the a-holes, but kind of agree with their course of action here.
Cold-hearted during the holidays, Ryan Campbell. You're almost as cold-hearted as Zags, who's
we gotta clear the airspace for Santa, Brain. We can't have like nukes flying around when Santa's out there.
You're right. Zags is also not concerned with human lives because he just starts bombing the hell out of everything outside. Turn them and burn them, he says. And then he says, I just love the 4th of July.
I think his calendar, the date and his computer system may be a little off.
What he did is like you always hear about Christmas in July. He switched it and put Independence Day in December.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also like more clothed now. Like he started the movie where he was like completely shirtless parading around and now he's wearing a leather jacket.
You be thankful you don't. It makes you wonder if in part 1 he's just walking around stark ass naked. Does he just progress to clothing? Like he starts off that movie naked.
As a robot, he's becoming more human-like and aware.
Then he gets like some little.
I have to have clothes.
Little undies.
Yeah.
And then he gets a t-shirt, and then he gets socks. And what else could you get for Christmas? Socks.
Do you think he raided the Yankee swap since the party didn't go off as expected?
Possibly. So now it's time to take on more terrorists. And we get Frank versus the guy who tried to kill him earlier, Teague. It's a water battle, Ryan Campbell.
I do like we've had fire, we've had dangling, now we've got a water fight. The movie definitely tries to make each fight unique in its own way.
And Laurie drops a live wire into the water.
Obviously dude picks it up, guy just grabs it.
Waiting for Frank to get out first, which was nice of her.
Yeah. Listeners, if you ever find yourself alone in a pool of water after a water fight and a hot scientist turns on the electricity and you're not immediately killed, do not then grab the wire.
Yeah.
That's some
that free advice swings towards you and you're like, what's this?
Oh, I'm going to grab this. Free advice for you all out there. So just thinking about you all.
That could come in handy.
We got the blue light. We got the blue light special, like Don Wilson's son's boombox in Blood Fist 8.
Oh yeah, excellent reference, Toyman. We cut to the aftermath outside, and now we find out Hutton's like, okay, this Zags has flipped the fuck out, and they got Ricky in this chamber that is like losing air pressure and air altogether. Because they're just like, why didn't you just kill him at that point? But I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, especially because there's nothing that Laurie and Frank have that they need. Like if they still had the chip, then it'd be like, yeah, bring me the chip and
chip for the kid.
Maybe I'll think about letting your son live or something like that. But they really have nothing that they need.
So he's just like sadistic and wanted to slowly watch the kid
draw
die.
them to him.
Yeah. Or bait so he could kill them as well in case the other jackasses on his team couldn't get it done, which is a good thinking ahead. So they activate the missile. The silo opens up. They're getting ready. They're going to blow up freaking Washington, D.C. And Laurie and Frank show up. Laurie sees Ricky in the chamber and she just shoots the hell out of it. Good thing she was shooting high, I guess. She didn't want to hit poor Ricky.
Yes, I assume she knows the facility. She probably knows that it's.
But does she know guns?
I mean, she's a scientist, so she probably knows that, like, at least what force it could take. She probably. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that, scientists are pretty smart about projectile velocity and the size of things. She probably knows how much that thing can take. She
knows about the size of things. All right, listen.
You did that one on your own. I don't know.
Can't
blame me for that one.
And Laurie go and get him out. He's still alive, thankfully. And at this point, Zags has had enough of Hutton's shit and kills him, which if this was in the theater, I bet you people would have cheered. And now Zags, Toyman. I know you've seen a lot of Zags movies in your day, as have I. Have you ever seen Zags more animated than in this moment where he becomes a ring announcer?
No, this is a lot of personality. I mean, I would actually take Zags as the guest ring announcer on any episode of wrestling television or a boxing event after this, because this, I had seen this movie years ago, but this was like a one and done. Like I had rented it and it was like, oh, okay, like this was okay. Wasn't one that I clung to.
You
And I was like,
bastard. This is a
and I was like,
holiday. In case I didn't make it known at the beginning, this is a holiday classic. Go on, Toyman.
no, I was gonna say like this one, like he was chewing the scenery a bit more than usual in this one. Like I think that this was one of those roles where he kind of, really sank his teeth into it and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have like I'm in a fucking missile silo, I'm an android, I'm walking around shirtless, I got a kid here. It's like every ingredient of 90s B action is right here. So let me just chew the scenery a bit.
I would like to point this out too about the Zags filmography. There have been times where Zags played a human. Many times he played a human, and he was more robotic than he is when he's playing a robot.
And he is here.
He's a robot that wants to be a real boy, Brain. It's the subplot.
I mean, I saw it not that long ago in the film that he was in with Michael Madsen, the PM movie, Stray.
Right. He usually has that dead look in his eye. Like there's nothing back there.
He's about to have that look again in Project Shadowchaser II.
Well, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're in the final, the home stretch. So yeah, Zags kills Hutton. Now it's main event time. Zags versus the janitor. Ricky's like he's made like the ultimate comeback. He was on the apron for like 2 seconds, but then has full power and he just goes running after Zags. Now Laurie, who's like, I'm trying to dismantle this missile, looks over and she sees, what the hell, my kid? What's he doing? So she goes into Mama Bear mode and she just grabs his fucking pole and impales that bastard Zags, Bryan Campbell.
Yeah, we get a full I guess the electric force leaving his body or whatever, and it shoots a blue light up into the sky and everything. Mm-hmm. We get a very dramatic stabbing, and we get the damsel in distress is not a damsel. She gets the killing blow on this badass android.
Or so we think. Now she goes back to dismantling her missile. I mean, this woman could do it all. And we like, this airstrike is coming, and we can't call it off. I'm not sure why. But they couldn't call it off. It's too late. So they're like, we have to go up through the silo. So they're climbing the silo ladder. But then O'Hara comes with the chopper and drops the rope ladder. So they got to go from one ladder to the next. Ricky and Laurie get to the rope ladder. They're up. They're all the way into the chopper. Then here comes Frank. He gets the ladder, but here comes Zags. And now they're hanging on this rope ladder, fighting on the bottom rungs.
I gotta imagine he's heavy too. Like usually he's big already, but androids are notoriously in movies depicted as being like extremely heavy. So
right.
I'm surprised he didn't pull the whole chopper down.
You're right. Yeah.
But it is struggling to get away. It's like they're hollering, get him off of it. They can't get away.
So Frank does manage to do it, and Zags drops into the silo just as the airstrike hits. There's explosions everywhere. Oh my gosh. This, folks, again, holiday classic. Now, back on terra firma, we see our trio. And they're there, and the press, of course, is there asking all kinds of questions like the press does, but they're just ignoring them. Then Reitman comes up. Oh, good to see you.
And with that face that you just know, he's going to get smacked.
And he gets it. She gets him right in the jaw. He's like, I quit. Frank quits too, even though he's already fired. And then Laurie and Ricky kind of head, I guess, to her car. I don't know where they're headed, but they're leaving without Frank. And Frank's like, hey, guys, wait up. And that's when Ricky's like, oh, come on, we got a big turkey at home, which obviously hasn't been cooking, so you're not eating anytime soon, Frank.
Right.
But
If it was cooking,
or it's either one way. Yeah, either they didn't start it, or that thing is drier than. Okay. Anyway, so then Frank said, "Oh, that's great," and he starts talking about the 1978 kickboxing championship, and he gets ahead of him, and then the line of lines. Laurie says, "Nice ass." And he says, "What did you say?" Boom! Cue the Rockin J Bells. End credits.
Free shot of Frank's bewildered face.
Oh, and that's one. For as much as Zags is a soulless person, or so it would seem. I love you, Zags, if you're listening. But yeah, he's got that look like there is nothing going on. Genesse is one of the most expressive faces, and he's got great facials, great reactions. And that ending there, I said to myself, every time I see it, that is interesting writing. We can all learn from this. But the end credits, I love Rockin J Bells. As soon as I heard that, it was added to my Christmas playlist.
You sent it to me. I got that
sent it
YouTube
to you.
link. As soon as I saw a message that was a YouTube link, I'm like, it's going to be that J Bells song.
Oh, it's a wonderful song. And it makes this a holiday classic. But Ryan Campbell, I would like to hear your thoughts, since this was the very first time you've ever seen this movie.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I'm a sucker for the bullet, or the Die Hard format. It's very rare that it doesn't work for me, and especially you add the dynamic of having three, like you said, three flies in the ointment. You add the kid element into it, which is something not a lot of those other movies have done. You add a fantastically beautiful Beth Toussaint to it that was enjoyable to look at. Bryan, every time that it seemed like they would survive another fight, just another button on that blouse would come undone.
So you were hoping for like 10 more.
It could have been a 4. It could have been as long as Avatar, and I would have just kept watching the movie.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I enjoyed it, and the little added extra of it being Christmas. Of course, that's the gimmick about it's Die Hard Christmas movie, so it kind of continues that never-ending debate. But I enjoyed it, really good. I think the new image of all these groups that we talk about, as all the movies that we've reviewed this year for them, they don't miss. I think they're up there. Like I'm on the train now, Bryan, when it comes to that.
New image is good. This is one of the best. I'll look that up. Well, Toyman, Mr. One and Done, now 2 and through. What's your take on rewatching this one, Toyman?
No, so like I said, this was one that I remember watching like way back when it had first come out. I can't remember if it was a rental or when it first hit cable. Maybe I saw it like once after that while it was on, late night HBO or something like that. But no, this is a fun movie. I mean, I am a fan of New Image. I am a fan of Zags. This was, it's silly fun. Like, this is the epitome of turn your brain off TV here. The plot is something that we've seen a million times over, but it doesn't get old. To Ryan's point, the Die Hard formula always works. And this was something a little different. I mean, you had androids, you had missiles, you had terrorists, you had sheriffs. I mean, this was almost like watching an episode of G.I. Joe come to life. And so to that, it's like, you mix that everyman formula in. It was kind of like a cornucopia of everything. The effects are what they are for, being a B movie in the early to mid 90s. So you take what you can get with that. But no, I mean, this was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this one as well.
This movie is a holiday classic. If I have not mentioned that before, I would do it one more time. It's a holiday classic. I love it. I love Bryan Genesse and Zags. They are like corners. They are like the Dudikoff and Norris and Bronson of canon. But for New Image, it was, was Zags and Genesse. And this one actually was number 2 on our Ultimate New Image countdown that we did a few years back. The only thing that could beat it, U.S. SEALs 2, which is a fantastic movie, so it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, absolutely love this one. The minute I saw it again, I spent $53 on it. So that should tell you something. And it's one that I watch every single year. I'm glad that it popped up on the Internet Archive so we could all talk about it, because this one, this episode is either going to be one of the most listened to or least listened to, because I'm wondering how many people have ever even seen this movie Toyman, because it's one of those hard to find ones and it's never popped up on streaming. How do some things pop up on streaming and other things don't? Maybe it's on cable.
That was the big surprise, as we record this, that, for those wondering what Brain's referring to, a couple of months ago, I reviewed Terminator Woman, which was a Karen Shepard, Jerry Trimble, Michael Kissy movie from 1993 that has not shown up on the DVD format. It has not been on Tubi. You can't watch it on YouTube, but I was able to track down a copy and I watched it for the first time in years and reviewed it. And then just tonight, as I was preparing for the podcast, I'm flipping through the cable channels because I am someone who has not cut the cord. And it was just randomly on the stars where you can turn it on and it's like, oh, hey, we've got, Mission Impossible and here's Cheaper by the Dozen and all these big budget movies from like the last 25 years. And there's the rare 1993 action movie that I hadn't seen in decades, just casually back on cable. So maybe this will be the next one. Maybe Stars or Cinemax or some of these cable outlets are like, you know what? We're sick of overpaying for all this Hollywood bullshit that no one's going to see in the theaters. Let's go back to the glory days. Let's get Zags back on cable. Let's get Billy Blanks. Let's get Jerry Trimble. Get all the all-stars on there. And then we'll have more podcast fodder.
I believe Matt Poirier calls Stars purgatory. Like things just go there and like it's blocked out to most of the world unless you're Toyman and you still have cable.
Well, it was not that long ago that the Snake Eater trilogy was like airing back to back on there.
Yeah. I mean, I remember like the Encore channels when I did have cable. Like that's where I did see a lot of oddball. Like I think I saw Street Night, which I had never, just things that you don't see or that don't have freaking DVD releases and such. But there you go. There's another area for you to check when you're looking for something to review. But there you have it, folks. It is, in fact, the end of our Project Shadowchaser 2, aka Night Siege, or Project Shadowchaser 2 Night Siege. Sometimes it's 2, like a 2. Sometimes it's Roman numeral 2. It doesn't matter. It's a holiday.
It's like a choose your own adventure, Brain. You can do
it is. And I choose to watch it during the holidays because it's a holiday classic. And now we wrap up this. We didn't go long. See, we breezed through that movie. You thought we were going to go for 2 hours. Well, we're not done yet, folks. Because, of course, I have to remind you that if you want to tell us about what you thought of this episode or what you think about the movie, or if you want to suggest another movie or what we're doing over on bulletproofaction.com, you can do all of that by following us on social media. We are at Bulletproof Pod on X and at Bulletproof Pod on Blue Sky, at Bulletproof Action on Instagram and Facebook. We also have our own Facebook group if you'd like to join that and join in and post what you're watching and what you asked Santa for. Maybe show us what Santa brought you, since there's no nuclear attacks now. We got all that. And again, also you can keep up to date what's going on bulletproofaction.com. As this drops, just yesterday, I reviewed another brand new release from Wellgo USA, Beast of War. There will be a new edition of No Surrender Cinema this week. Toyman, any insight as to what that is?
Yes, I'm actually looking at covering something that has not popped up on streaming as of late. There are physical copies out there, but it is something that does not get talked about too often, and it will wrap up the Incredible Hulk TV movie trilogy. I'm talking about, of course, the death of the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, very interesting. I'm also going to be doing something that I've never done before on Bulletproof Action, and that's write a good review. No, I'm going to be doing something that's never been done before later in the week, so keep an eye out for that. Ryan Campbell is going to probably tell you about Avatar.
I'm excited about it, Brain. It's going to be good. I watched a very good YouTube video earlier today about this guy just defending all the people that shamelessly just hate on Avatar. It's good.
Good. I'm happy for you. And he's going to go see that movie on December 20th, and it should be done sometime by the 30th. So,
I should get out by Christmas Eve, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it's a long movie. But so that's coming up as well on bulletproofaction.com. And you know what's going to come up here next week? Because we're going to keep this Christmas train rolling. We're going to go a little. It's got some action. It's got a little bit of everything in it. It's a classic as well. Gremlins.
Love it.
I'm down.
Fun time of year to do some of this. Yeah, do little different things every once in a while around the holidays.
That's right. It gives us a chance to branch out a bit. So Gremlins is the plan for next week. And that really will be our last normal episode of the year as we're winding down, because then in 2 weeks we will do our year in review episode. I know it's one of Ryan Campbell's favorites, probably because he doesn't have to actually watch anything. But the year in review is coming up. As a matter of fact,
make your Google searches now so they can make the list. You better get
right. We'll talk about crazy search terms. We'll talk about get prepared, because we're going to all give our favorite movies of the year. I don't know if it's going to be definitely a top 5. It could be I think I could do a top 10. I've seen so many brand new movies, but favorite movies of each of us. I did want to mention that prior to recording, Spotify Wrapped gave me my information for the podcast. You know what they said our top episode was, Toyman? According to Spotify Wrapped. Care to guess?
Neon Maniacs.
Oh, shit. Hell no. Mission of Justice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's also one that we didn't do. Like, you would think it would be like one from earlier in the year that had the whole year to gather views, but that one was only, was that September, August?
No. That was in the first half of the year, but not
was it?
Right away, I don't believe.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe May. I don't know. But
that was like a mid-year.
Mission of Justice. What a wonder. Another movie that is difficult to find and never seems to be anywhere. Maybe that one has shown up. I don't remember. How the hell did we watch it? It's on YouTube. That's how. But yeah, Mission of Justice, top episode. And another thing that we often do in the year in review, sadly, is we talk about those that we lost. And sadly, also right before we hit record tonight, news that Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa has passed on. And Toyman, I mean, this guy was in so many things. We covered him here on the show, Soldier Boys, Kickboxer 2, but I mean, his list goes on and on.
It's a great actor, turned up in so many things that we love. Classic villain. Obviously, most people might remember him mainly from Mortal Kombat, but the man has done so much. Truly a loss. Kickboxer 2. My favorite of the Kickboxer franchise. He was in that one. He was the reason why Tong Po came after David Sloan. So just a very, very notable, familiar face in action cinema. Someone that, he does not have many peers. He will definitely be missed in the cinematic world.
Yes, and I'm sure, again, we will talk more about him in our year in review episode, along with others that we lost in 2025. And Ryan Campbell, anything else you want to say before we go?
No, of course. Head over to the YouTube channel. We've had a resurgent year on the YouTube channel. It's been awesome to see the numbers go up. And
Ryan Campbell can give us the year-end YouTube recap as well. On our
We'll wait on that one a little bit. We'll go over
more work for you to do, Ryan.
But not a problem. It's not like I have a normal job to do. It's all good. So we will, head over there, like and subscribe. Leave some comments, all that kind of good stuff. Definitely helps us out, anyone that knows the YouTube algorithm. So we look forward to a big 2026 on the YouTube channel.
I certainly hope so. It has been a great year here on the podcast. And again, we are wrapping up, just a few more episodes to go. Hard to believe, but it's just time flies. And it flies whether you're having fun or not, but I'm glad we've been having fun here on the Bulletproof Podcast. And hopefully those of you listening have been having fun too. I want to thank you so much. And as always, stay tuned for more of the Bulletproof Podcast.